Tristan with Nerdut's Newsstand, and as things are very topical nowadays with the flow of time and how quick people are able to produce these videos, I'm a little late here, but I still want to talk about the finale of Loki, episode 6, for all time, always. Now, I am going to go through it pretty much in its entirety. I'm going to talk about the latter part of the episode, and I'm going to talk about the beginning of this series. So, if you are interested in a non-spoiler review, you're just at the wrong channel because I don't know how to do them. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. As always, hit like, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the season finale of Loki and if you are pumped for season 2. Now, let's talk about that opening. Tony Stark, Star-Lord, Captain America, Black Panther, Nelson Mandela, Greta Thunberg, Neil Armstrong, Maya Angelou. Oh, wait, okay. So the most important thing here is Alan Watts. As he says, we think of time as a one-way motion, which is from one of his more famous lectures where he argues that our perception of time is flawed. Basically, instead of B causing A or A causing B in the flow of time, it all happens at the same time. It's a very Dr. Manhattan way of looking at it. But they add that in there. And we get to look at a little bit of the universe. Beautiful graphics, beautifully done. But let's get on to the real question at hand. Are we going to get to see Kang? Okay, so no, not really, but kind of also at the same time. Now, we see this rock, right? And they get to the castle, and it's kind of a callback to episode 2 where, Loki tells Sylvie not to kick in the door. And I like that. They're really good at callbacks on this episode, or honestly on this series as a whole. So they go in, and we see a very creepy Miss Minutes. Her facial expressions kind of went from, oh my God, she's so cute, I love Tara Strong, to, oh my God, what happened to her? Are you okay, Tara Strong? Like, it was very weird. But Miss Minutes talks about he who remains. She offers a deal to reinsert them both back into the timeline. Happiness together, forever, on a timeline, with little repercussions. And of course, they're not going to do it. But we do get to see the timekeeper statues, and they're a little messed up, but then we're going to switch over to Renslayer. Now, Miss Minutes returns, and she gives files. Now, not the exact files that Renslayer was wanting. She actually gives her wrong ones. Ones from He Who Remains, and says they could be a little bit more useful. So she looks through those. Now, Loki and Sylvie go forward, and we see this elevator door open up, and we see him sitting there. Now, all of the coloring is very similar to Kang, but the outfit looks more like a Mortis to me. But I was so excited at this part. I was like, are you kidding me? Every single one of these series, I have went big. I've went Mephisto or this or some big, huge reveal, some huge spoiler. And I'm like, this time I'm going to go little. It's going to just be a variant Loki. No, I should have went big. But we do get to see He Who Remains, played by Jonathan Majors. And they use this apple demonstration as he's talking. And I like it because, the apple demonstrates knowledge. It's all very biblical. There are quite a few biblical calls in this. And, the snake and the apple, everyone knows the story, right? So they go in the elevator, and of course, in Loki fashion, Sylvie tries to kill him. Yeah, that doesn't work out so well for her. So, because he knows the flow of time, she's unable to do anything. And then they go, sit in the office, and he knows what kind of tea they like. And yeah, okay. So we go back to Renslayer and Mobius, and both of these two feel betrayed by each other for different but valid reasons. So basically, we see her escape with the files from Miss Minutes and the Tempad, never to be seen again, in search of free will. But before we see her escape, he explains how Hunter B-15 exposed her variant to other hunters through the pen. Through the pen from episode 2 from Fremont, Ohio, Franklin D. Roosevelt High School. Pretty cool callback. I like that. So everyone is getting to know the truth behind the TVA. Then we get, and that is one thing I will say about this episode. It needed to be done, but it is a lot of exposition. Now, the exposition is about He Who Remains, or Immortus, basically, on how he knows what happens, when it happens, and why it happens. He paved the road, and they just basically walked down the journey, right? They are kind of cogs in his sacred timeline, but they can't get to the end until they've actually made that journey. So his goal is to change their mindset, basically why and what he's done and why we're looking at it. Now, it's kind of almost democracy versus fascism, but then he says it. He's known as a ruler, a conqueror. Yeah, I was like, yes, you said it. You said the thing. You said the thing. You said conqueror. Jerk. And we get his backstory. Now, this was done beautifully by a magical bracelet that kind of is like metalish. There was no name, so we're going to call it the beautiful magical bracelet. Now, he was a 31st century scientist. He discovered that different universes were stacked, along with other universes finding out the same thing around the same time. Now, of course, it was peaceful at first, but not every single version of him was so pure of heart. Some of them looked at these new worlds as a place to conquer. Yeah, he said the thing again. Yeah, leading to all-out war. Then he found Elias. He basically made Elias his pet and then weaponized it to end the multiversal war that was going on. And then he managed to make the timeline sacred, one timeline, and the TVA. One very important line here, though. He said, "You came to kill the devil." Again, very biblical in references. We even see him sing amen. But if you think I'm the devil, just wait until you meet my variants. Now, I say that's important because we're gonna meet his variant. So, choose right now in the comments below. Stifling order or cataclysmic chaos. I want to know what you think. I'll wait. Or, he's a liar. But is he? Because next we find out he wants to give the throne, so to speak, to Sylvie and Loki. He wants out. He's older. He's tired. He believes they are the chosen two to take over, to become the benevolent rulers of the sacred timeline, right? And then it hits the end of time. The end of time. And now it is that moment where Loki and Sylvie need to decide. Take over and believe him, or kill him and wait for his other versions or his other variants to come to light. And then the fight begins, right? Because no Lokis can agree on anything. Sylvie wants to kill, obviously, He Who Remains. And Loki actually kind of believes him. I actually really like this fight sequence, and it's about the most action we see in this entire episode. But it's very well choreographed. I like how they do it. And you can tell they're trying to go at each other without actually going at each other. But Sylvie loses faith in Loki, right? Because she can't trust and he can't be trusted. Oh, and then they have an amazing moment. Amazing moment. Best part in the whole show. Loki opens up to Sylvie. And knowing he knows what she's felt before. He knows where she's been before. And he knows he doesn't want the throne. And he knows he doesn't want to hurt Sylvie. All he wants her to be is okay. And then they kiss! Finally, they kiss! I've been waiting 4 episodes for this. Come on. It's awesome. So, for a second, it's awesome because she uses her temp pad and she sends him away. And that, ladies and gentlemen, seals everybody's fate. Sylvie kills he who remains. All he says is, I'll see you soon. And he kind of has this like chuckle and wink thing he does. Again, just great in this position. I'd never have seen Jonathan Majors before, but I really like the way he acted this. And I do believe at that point, when we see Sylvie sit back, she kind of knows she messed up. Or did she mess up? It's a very weird question to think about it. But even so, we get a glimpse at all the timelines happening outside the window, right? Splinters and shifting, changing and branching. We see it all. It's going insane right now. So there's no turning back now. There is no turning back at this point. The multiverse is upon us for all time. Always. Or maybe not always, but still. We go back to Loki, who also knows at that point how bad this is going to be. And he decides to try to find Mobius and at least tell him what he knows. At least give him that warning, right? And he tells Mobius and B-15 that they freed the timeline by finding the man in the Citadel at the end of time. And that someone is coming. Countless different versions of a very dangerous person who are all set on war. But that's when we learn Mobius has no idea who Loki even is. And as he looks at the landscape around him, he realizes one thing. Kang is already here. Oh my God. And then, of course, probably the most straightforward end credit scene from Marvel ever. Loki is coming in season 2. Now, we kind of knew this before, but even so, I was hoping for a real end credit scene, but I'll take that. I'm definitely pumped for season 2. So, there's a couple questions there's more than a couple. There's a bunch of questions that this all ends and leaves us, right? Most importantly, where's Crokey? Like, where's my little alligator buddy or crocodile buddy? I can't tell the difference, but where'd Crokey go? Okay, and Kid Loki, I want to know where he's at too. So, now, going into this, of course, this is going to go into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, one thing I wish Marvel would have done was keep that name a secret. I wish they would have kept Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme, or Doctor Strange and this, that. Because we knew kind of going into this episode, at least a roundabout way of what was going to happen. But even so, I'm wondering if they're setting up a Secret Wars type, storyline here instead of replacing Doom with Kang, right? I'm not sure, but my biggest question is about that ending. Because is Loki in a different universe? Or did he go back to the same universe, but because of everything that was going on, did Kang already reset Mobius and B-15? Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ways you could look at it. I think he probably, in my best guess, he's in a different universe because, well, no, I guess maybe not. If he's not in a different universe, she kicked him out before she killed him, right? So my guess, yeah, it's got to be Kang reset them. It has to be. And also, last question about all of this is in that original trailer we talked about last week when it came to this, there was a scene that showed him, Loki, as a king and people were around him. We never once in the entirety of this season saw that. Obviously, it was something that was taken out and cut, but where did that scene fit in? Like maybe it was when Miss Minutes was talking and she showed them what their possible future could be if they said yes. I'm not sure, but maybe it's a scene from season 2. I doubt it, but even so. So, absolutely recommend this series. Now, as far as putting it up against its counterparts, this is absolutely my favorite so far. I would say this, then right behind that WandaVision, and then right behind that Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, Tom Hiddleston, but it was honestly fantastic. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you were wanting more, because by the end, I was like, no, don't end it. Please. And they didn't listen. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.